All right, guys, I'm back. I had to start this exercise a couple of times. I don't know, something went wonky with Camtasia, so hopefully we'll get through it this time. We're in the Adobe Photoshop CC book for digital photographers by Scott Kelby, and we're working in Chapter 8. And this is on page 272. It's called the Photographic Toning Effects from Sepia to Split Tones. This is probably the last demo that I'll do for you this chapter, and then I'll assign the 3 for your homework. But I really wanted to take a look at this because I've not used it, and I like the looks of the effect, at least on the imagery that he's used. So he's saying one of the most underused adjustment layers has got to be the gradient map. Quite honestly, I've never used that, so it's, again, a good exercise for me to do as well. For years, I've only used it for one thing. Makes a pretty mean black and white conversion, and this is Kelby talking, in just one click. Well, provided that your foreground and background color are black and white when you choose the gradient map. Anyway, Adobe worked with another photographer by the name of Steve Weinreb to add 38 photo toning and split toning presets to the gradient map feature, making it an even better tool that nobody uses. And so hopefully we're going to change that starting with this chapter. So we're opening the photo we want to apply a photo toning effect to. We're going to go to the Layers panel and we're going to create a new adjustment layer. Let's see, where is it here? Right here. Create a new filler adjustment layer. And at the bottom of this panel, we're going to choose Gradient Map. And then you'll see the adjustment layer added. Now, as soon as you choose Gradient Map, it applies the default gradient, which, as I said above, makes a pretty darn sweet one-click black and white, which that is kind of nice. As long as your foreground and background colors are set to black and white, which mine were, although mine were set to white and black. I wonder if that made a difference. Anyway, okay, to be able to load the photo toning presets, you need to go into the Properties panel. I'm not sure where it is. I'm just going to bring it up here. It's already up. Oh, geez, right in front of my face, Nancy. Okay, good. And then click directly on the gradient itself. This brings up the gradient editor, and you'll see that in the middle of my screen. And if you click on the little gear icon at the top right corner of the presets section, a pop-up menu appears, which it does, and we want to choose Photographic Toning, which is down here from this menu. A dialog box will appear asking if you want to replace the current default set of gradients with the ones you're loading. I chose OK because it's easier to work with them if they're not added to the existing set. And you can always get back to the default gradients by simply choosing Reset Gradients. All right, once they're loaded, now the fun begins, because all you have to do is click on any one of these gradients and it updates your image live. Oh, well, let's move this over so we can see it. It updates your image live, so you can just start clicking until you find one you like. Yeah. All right, he's used Sepia Selenium 3. It's the fourth one in the third row. Yep, Sepia Selenium 3. It's so now we're pretty much window shopping for the look we like. Click a gradient, and if it's not the one you're looking for, click the next one. For example, in this last one, which is really one that I like a lot, he chose Sepia Cyan, which that looks like 1, 2, 3. Ooh, like it better in the textbook than I do on the screen, but I did want to show you the variety of what's here. This one has more of a split tone look, like with a cyan color in the shadows and a yellowish color in the highlights. Make sure you try out some of the ones in the top row. There are some really useful duotones and sepia tones. Actually, I do kind of like the ones that have a little bit of, oh, not that much, a little bit of cyan in them as well. A little bit of color in the background. That's kind of nice too. One more cool thing, because these are adjustment layers, you can reduce the intensity of the effect by simply lowering the opacity of the adjustment layer over in the layers panel. So again, let's go back to that one that was really quite, is that sepia cyan? And you can also change the layer blend mode. Try linear burn on this shot for even more looks. So I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to change the opacity. Oh, Mark. So you can definitely, oh, see, that's really quite nice. And then the other thing that he said to try is the layer blend mode. And on this one he said linear, linear something, linear burn, which I'm sure is right here. It is. Whoa. All right, nice. And then you can just turn it off and see the effect that that has on the layer. And again, remember, it's an adjustment layer, so I could turn it off and try in another 2 or 3 adjustment layers as well before I get the effect that I'm looking for. So again, that's photographic toning effects. And I will see you in class, and we'll talk about our next project, as well as 3 of these exercises in this chapter that will be due for homework. Alrighty, see you then.